happen here. So it looks like John is playing on the Japanese version, and that's going to give him a bit of an advantage. I don't know if the players discussed this already, but usually you'd play on, but you'd both be playing on the English version because you get I think it's a 12.5-second advantage on the Japanese version. I mean, I don't think that the 12-second difference is going to matter in the end, but if it does end up mattering, Dudeopi or whatever, Dudeopi, I have no clue. Anyway, he might want to complain there, but I don't know. I feel like he's told me how to pronounce his name before, but I completely forgot. Anyway, as far as the run's going, well, it looks like John's in a small lead early on here. Looks like his platforming's just a little bit better. Looks like both players tried to get doubles, but none of them got them. It's pretty hard to get that. So the players are going to do some weird movement to make to lure the bugs in this. If you don't lure them, if you like just go running into them after the first one, bad things can happen. Looks like John killed a few of them to begin with for some consistency. So both players are on their way to bombs. I think after bombs, both of them are going to go straight to grade. You could opt to go and clean up the top of Brinstar, but I don't see newer players doing that very often. So 100% usually is an hour and 10 minutes or so if you're really good at the game. For these players, it's going to be around an hour and 20 minutes or so. Probably a little longer. FLJ's best time is a 121 and Dudeopi is 127. This is for real time. It's going to be different from game time, but we don't really go by game time anymore. It's been a long time since we've done that. Yeah, sure, Chief. If you want to ask any other questions, feel free. What is John doing? I'm confused here. So FLJ is going into Norfair. So normally you want to go into Crade here because you want to get speed booster. Yeah, okay. So Dudeopi is in the lead now. I think FLJ just forgot the route here. That is legitimately hilarious. Oh my god, FLJ just completely forgot the route. Oh my god. So as I was saying, you want to go into Crate here because it is a little faster. It's quite a bit faster actually because you get speed booster, right? And the routing works in such a way that killing Ridley first out, it doesn't work out. It's a little complicated, but yeah. Maybe map percent confused him or something. So I guess we'll switch to Dudeopi for now, since he is in a pretty significant lead right now. I think ideally what he would have wanted to do, having entered Ridley or entered Norfair, is to get Power Grip. It might have been a little bit faster at that point, but I'm not sure. I've honestly never seen anybody mess up 100% like that, so. Yeah, it really looks like John is not very familiar with the route. He tried to go somewhere else also. You saw Dudeopi farming for drops there, and that's because you really want to have some drops for this mini boss and for some side hoppers. So while this route is definitely the fastest, you'll see John struggling with the bomb jumps here. You have to do them, and if you're going to Crate right away, there's no avoiding it, and it can be tough, especially if you're new. This bomb jump that John's doing especially is not easy, because collecting the drop spawns the enemy, and he can just clip you out of your bomb jump, and it's really annoying. There are a lot of things that JRP makes a little difficult though, so there's that too. So Dudeopi fell off the platform. That happens if you tap A, and it should honestly never happen. I'm not sure how that happened. You'll notice that I'm not very coherent, and that's because I am half asleep, and I decided to pick up this commentary since no one else was going. Dudeopi getting really lucky with drops there. You really want to have at least 10 missiles for these side hoppers. Shooting missiles is really slow, and it's also painful in the hands. I guess it's an old man thing to complain about your hands hurting after killing enemies and shooting really fast. Here's another bomb jump. This one's kind of tough on FrenchLightningJohn's end, because if you're slow, the blocks will reform. Meanwhile, Dudeopi is in the most boring rhythm in the game. We call it that because it's just a series of bomb jumps and not much is happening. So Dudeopi is going to come up to the grid fight soon. Grid can be difficult in the 100% because there is a platform that doesn't stay up for very long, and you want to kill Grid while the platform's still up. Otherwise, he will swipe you, and he only creates temporary platforms. I'm gonna guess that Dudeopi is not going to go very quickly, and he's gonna struggle. That's usually the case for newer players, but we'll see. That was a pretty good fight, all things considered, honestly. He fell down a few times, but the final platform did not break, so he managed to kill Kraid within a reasonable amount. I've seen really good players struggle more than that with Kraid, so. Looks like Dudeopi is healing at Kraid. I don't know why. I've never seen that strategy before, honestly. Can't say I know the reason why you would do it, but I mean, okay. Looks like FLJ had a similar great fight to Dudeopi. Dudeopi choosing to do the Shine Spark up. Platforming is a little faster, but at this level, probably more similar to Shine Spark because the platform is not going to be as strong. It looks like Dudeopi is employing single bomb jumps. They're pretty easy and a lot more consistent than double bomb jumps. Double bomb jumps are consistent, but they are more difficult. And you saw that FLJ was doing doubles, but he is not very consistent with them. So I think overall, Dudeopi is just saving time with his bomb jumps. Overall, I said overall twice. I am really tired. Sorry, guys. But yeah, point being, Dudeopi is doing the slower but more consistent strategy and saving time over John because of that, I guess. But these are very minor things. John would probably be at a very similar spot if he'd done the wrong route. Also, if you're listening to commentary, John, don't worry about the mistake. It is a hilarious mistake that that everybody will know about eventually. It is so hilarious. So, I don't know how familiar y'all are with the game, but it looks like you could get power grip at any time or skip it, but the game throws a roadblock on the right side of Norfair that you just can't get past without power grip. I'm not sure exactly why that is, but you definitely need to get Plasma Beam, the unknown item here, to beat the game anyway, so I guess they threw that restriction for that reason, but I can't know for sure. Oh, there's a double bomb jump from Dudeopi. Okay, you can do that, I guess. Way back in the day, this Shine Spark chain used to be a lot more difficult. We didn't know about the wall jump setup on the wall there. So we would go into the somewhere in the middle and try to get a very specific setup to do a diagonal spot. It was really tough and stupid. If you missed it, it's the spark that John is just about to do here. Seems like John is catching up, but we'll see. Ooh, messing up that spark does hurt though. Dudeopi mess up the choice to just wall jump up, which is probably the correct choice if you're single jumping. Single bomb jumping is really slow and you don't really beat the platforms when you do. So as Dudeopi goes to the right side of Norfair, it's probably a good idea to discuss the different routes that players can choose. So the regular route gets Ice Beam first, and that's what people have been using for a very long time. And it looks like the route Dudeopi is going to be. It is a decent route, but the problem with that, especially for newer players, is that it makes their health rather tight, and there is some potential for Whereas if you get high jump first, you save a heated room for later, and you can heal between it. So it's just a touch less dangerous overall. Maybe John goes for it, but I'm not sure. It would be nice to see the contrasting routes, but I'm not sure we'll get it. But you'll see Dudeopi going through a heated room very soon, and there is no ability to heal in between that. Okay, so it looks like John is going to be going for Ice Beam first also. Dudeopi having problems with this heated room. This heated room is really tough with high jump first. With Ice Beam first, it's really easy with high jump first because you have screw attack and everything. You know, it's a really cool route, and it's really good for nerf players. I'm surprised that no one does it, honestly. So Dudeopi is going to have to go and heal or something, I'm guessing. I don't see any way around it. He has like no health. I guess he's going to go to heal at high jump or something. Yeah, when he's done with this run, I'm going to suggest to use high jump first, because that is a route that would really benefit him, because he's losing a lot of time with this heal, not getting the super missiles right away. In this situation, it's better to skip those super missiles for later on in the game, but I don't know if he's gonna do that. Looks like he's going to skip them for later. So it is the correct decision for sure. It's a little weird too. This room is really dangerous. If you can't double bomb jump, you have a lot less time, and if you fail, you're going to take a whole lot of damage. But thankfully, Dudeopi got through it. He's gonna have to get that inside John just got in cleanup. Looks like John had a little bit of trouble staying there, but he did get there, and then thankfully no. After this, he's going to heal a screw attack, and he shouldn't have any problems. He should survive. So pretty soon, Dudeopi is going to be going into the Imago Cocoon fight. The fight is basically instant. I wouldn't say it's instant, but he always has the same pattern, so it's up to the player to execute the strategy correctly. Looks like Dudeopi is going to be using one of the easier strategies to kill him. He kind of failed it though. If you're doing that, you want to freeze the Ripper on the right side. The estimated time is going to be about an hour and 20 minutes total. So well, another hour or so is how long this is going to take with the skill level of these particular players. FrenchLightningJohn has a PB of 121, and Dudeopi has a PB of 127. I think. So Dudeopi is going to be going to fight Imago Cocoon, or Imago rather, and he only has 2 supers. Normally, if you only have 2 supers, you should go fight. You should go clean out Ridley and go fight Imago Cocoon later. But I guess he's not quite as used to the route as he could potentially be. If you're new to the game, it can be tough, you know. You don't know all the backups, and you're not really sure what you should be doing if you make certain mistakes, I guess. Well, Leslie, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm probably not going to be explaining things altogether too well because I'm tired, but I'll try. Dudeopi messed that up. That is very costly because you have to spend time bomb jumping to get back up. It's a hidden hole, and you have to know where to jump to get up to that E-tank. Coming up on Dudeopi's screen, though, is going to be a bunch of puzzles in Ridley. I wonder if he does the glitch here. So if Dudeopi does the glitch, I'm going to try my best to explain what happens, but we'll see. Yeah, he did. He's gonna go through the... So what happens is frozen enemies are really weird in this game and not terribly well programmed. And and the game gets really, really confused because you are staying on 2 enemies at the same time. And when you kill one of them, it wants to put you on the other enemy's spot, but he's dead and respawns, so it teleports you downwards onto the spawn point of the enemy, since it's the respawning enemy. Looks like Dudeopi is having some problems with the first puzzle, though. These can definitely be tricky. I mean, if you've only played the game a few times, you know, and your movement isn't perfect, it can be. It's going to give FLJ ample time to catch up here. Yeah, no, it's not that bad, but the next few coming up are probably the most difficult, I would say, casual. Looks like FLJ is going to get it first try. As Dudeopi is coming up to the second puzzle room. This puzzle room is another one where you just have to know where to jump and when. It can be confusing if you don't really know what you're doing. He handled that one pretty well. And the last one is not really a puzzle, you just have to jump at the correct. You only have a 4-frame window to get this jump properly, which is kind of weird that Nintendo would want you to do a 4-frame trick. No one really understands that. It's really hard to do casually, really. You definitely see top runners messing this up on occasion too. And FLJ nails it first try, so he's going to have a pretty massive lead now. Even if he was a little behind, he has 2 extra items that Dudeopi does not have, so... He's in quite the commanding lead right now, I would say. But yeah, no shame in failing that jump a few times. It is not an easy trick, especially as a new player. Oh, and John that messed up that. That's another tricky one. Everybody's fallen off that pillar a few times, and Dudeopi is also gonna fall. Looks like John didn't know the correct spot to spark up though. Oh, John's having some troubles with it. John finally got it with a safe strat freezing the enemy. Okay. I am losing my voice a little bit. Yikes. So even with those mistakes, John's still going to be in the lead because he doesn't have to collect a few items, but oh, Dudeopi got the eye shot. Nice. You have to be in a pretty specific spot to kill the eye while standing up before it shoots its beam at you. It's more of an advanced strategy. I'm surprised to see it here. You'll see that John tucked under the eye and then shot him after he did his beam shot. Both players opting to heal because they didn't have enough super missiles. You'll see advanced players trying to collect super missiles as they go on. You'll also see that John healed then got the E-Tank, but it's faster to get the E-Tank first. before healing. That way you don't have to heal health and your heals a little faster. Dudeopi having a few problems just freezing that enemy at the right spot. The proper setup is to jump over and freeze it when it's under you, but I can see that being tricky for Dudeopi. Looks like John nailed it. And they are pretty well synced up now. That's interesting. John opting to farm because he wants to have supers for Kurt. I think Dudeopi got all the supers from Ridley, so he doesn't have to farm. So, coming up in a few seconds is another potential spot where Dudeopi can get the items. Looks like he's going to take the ball cannon enough. I can't remember if you have to take the ball cannon or shine spark to get the items. Because one of them doesn't break the speed booster box and one does. Yeah, so it's shine sparking that doesn't. If you take the ball cannon, the blocks will respawn wise where you shine spark it. And Dudeopi is going to get that into cleanup. Alright. So both players are going to go be cleaning up Upper Brinstar that they did not do early. It's also possible to do early by doing a series of bomb jumps. But you don't really see newer players doing that because it is more difficult. It is much more consistent though. It is much more difficult, but you get more missiles, which helps a lot. These bugs are annoying. They're pretty RNG, and all you're doing is waiting here doing nothing while they chew away at the... I don't know what you call that. Some sort of bug. Dudeopi is at the same place that FLJ is, so I'm guessing that he gets the missile on the right side a little. Oh yeah, that's right, because it's... Is it faster to do it that? Yeah, it's faster to do it the way Dudeopi did it. I'm not sure why FLJ did it in the other way. I'm very confused now. So FLJ is the first to get into Curia. Not much to say about Turin. It is complete RNG fest. They drop supers randomly. I think each Metroid has like a 10% chance to drop a super. I don't remember exactly. And they have... they spawn at a random time too, so you can have quicker slow spawn. I am really tired, guys. Wow. Getting grabbed by Metroids is completely avoidable, and it's also really slow to get grabbed by them, so you want to avoid it if at all possible. You lose out on missile drops, which isn't a huge deal, but okay, I don't even know where I'm going this. You don't lose out on super missile drops, that's the main thing. But you do lose a lot of time because you're not damaging Metroids while you're getting munched on. Looks like FLJ is getting grabbed by like every single Metroid. Wow, having called supers after killing Metroids, that's pretty sick. And Dudeopi getting through Metroids also. This red ranker room is really annoying. This avatar. It's a pretty random room. The way the turrets attack you is also random. So it can be annoying, especially depending on how the spawns are. Sure attack helps you get through it much more easily, but it's still... And Mother Brain is dispatched of very easily after you break the class because there is a spot where you're invincible to just about everything. Casually, this fight's a lot harder because her attacks deal a lot of damage, and you can't easily avoid them. Especially with all the turrets and Rinkus being in the way. So now they're going to play like a 1 minute long cutscene and then do a part of the game that is fun to play through, but there's not much to commentate on. It's fairly simple, to be honest. Samus loses her suit, and it's all platforming, and no real tricks are going on. It's just fairly simple. More casual players apparently didn't like this section of the game, but I found it fun to speedrun anyway. It's just that, you know, there's not a whole lot going on, and there's not much to commentate on. Yeah, FLJ playing on the Japanese version. I hope they agreed that they should both play on Japanese. FLJ is here, and that's definitely the sensible choice. You can skip the heal, but you can't take a single hit from the pirates if you do that. We do that and for PB attempts, but for these kinds of races, it's better just to heal. Looks like John didn't know the correct setup for this. Dudeopi failed the tripwire skip, so he's going to have to do the backup. He did the backup properly. He knew what to do. So John's gonna dip into the save room coming up real quick, and that stops the alarm and lets him get through the gate. I'm guessing FLJ was practicing the mat percent strategy. That's the only thing I can think of here. So Dudeopi is going to get a slight advantage over John because I can only is a mat percent strategy that John also runs. John is still in the lead even though it doesn't look like it because he has more items. Dudeopi definitely got a decent advantage, decent time save for that. That was weird. So they're coming up to this boss, and the boss is complete RNG. You might see the players shoot themselves after their first round, and that speeds up the patterns a little bit. So pretty soon, both players are going to come up to Shine Spark Chain / Puzzle. And it can be pretty difficult, especially if you're newer to the game. Your movement isn't really good. I mean, it can definitely be difficult. And I've definitely seen top players fail it too, because the amount of distance you have to get one of those sparks is really difficult. And ideally you do that shine storage twice. Yeah, you want to get the missile during the shine, during your shine, and then do it again. Looks like Dudeopi failed it once, which can definitely happen. It's not easy. Melted the second time, though. Nice. So, both John and Dudeopi are going to go get power bombs. This is one of the spots, and I talk about it all the time, but this is one of the spots where the game could have been improved. It's a fairly long and honestly boring trek that you have to take twice. And from a game design perspective, I don't like it because it just artificially pads out the game having to travel the same area with the same items twice. John showing off more map percent strategies for no real reason, I guess. I mean, I guess he's in late, but I don't know. Yeah, so this first set of power bombs is right before the final boss. And then you backtrack all the way to get more power bombs. It's kind of lame. Looks like John is going to be setting up for a glitch here. I'll talk about more if he gets. Yeah, so he clipped through that power bomb door. It's another instance where frozen enemy mechanics are just messed. He killed the enemy in such a way that it boosted him forwards into the. And that saves a power bomb for later. So John is going to be able to do a route that is. The route saves since you save a power bomb, you get to avoid a shine spark chain that is rather difficult, and I'll point that out later. And you could argue that the door clip is easier than the route change that you would do. This room that John is in is rather difficult. There's a lot of buttons to be pressed and movement to do in order to do that work plot room, this room really quick. Took me a while to get it right, and I don't even do the fastest strategy. So John is going to heal here. Did Dudeopi do the glitch also? I can't tell. I'm a little confused now. Because it didn't look like he was doing the setup for it. But... Anyway, they're going to heal here instead of opting to heal a little later on, and they're going to be able to avoid a Shine Spark chain for it. Oh, okay. I just looked at a highlight, and apparently Dudeopi did the really old pause buffer setup. That's why I had it in my head that he had not done it, because he didn't do the current setup where you avoid, where you don't have. So normally you would do this big Shine Spark chain to break the underwater speed booster blocks, because you wouldn't be able to use the power bomb blocks there. But this route allows us to always be able to use the power bomb. Basically now it's the cleanup portion of the run though. Both pairs are going to go to areas they previously visited to get some items that they either couldn't get before or missed, or that were just faster to get now. Looks like Dudeopi missed the spark. I didn't catch how I missed it. That's unfortunate. I thought you were doing Turian Space Boost. When you're doing the Space Boost, it's important to not hold forward, because you can grab ledges during the Space Boost if you're holding forward. One of those weird things that you find out as a runner. As a casual player, you might not notice it, honestly. There aren't a whole lot of items to clean up in the crate area. Technically speaking, there's only one that we really need to get now. So if there was a way to get the item in the lava later, we could just skip this area completely later on, but it's not really likely to have that happen. We would need to find some sort of glitch. And given that there are no enemies in that room to freeze, it is unlikely. Most of our glitches, if not all of them, revolve around using a frozen. This room that John's falling down is really awkward. It is hard to platform down there, but it's a mark of a really good runner to see them fall down with minimal amounts of time hitting ledges. John just got the one power bomb that we could potentially grab in the early. It is impossible to get the power bomb early with our current knowledge, but it's the only one that would be accessible theoretically. FrenchLightningJohn not using a power bomb there for some reason. I'm not sure if he's aware that it is one of the fastest power bombs to use or not. But FLJ is going to get his last missile tank in Norfair and Criteria and then move on to Chiso. Well, Dudeopi has to clean up a missile and super missile that he didn't get earlier. I hope he remembers them. And Dudeopi showing proper powerbomb strats in that. It looks like Dudeopi has definitely watched several speedruns, so he does seem to know the more advanced strategy. Using that bomb there as Dudeopi did is pretty cute. You have to do a bomb jump if you're doing that early. So FLJ is back in Chisodia proper, and I think he has roughly maybe 10 minutes to go, maybe a little less. So this run is going to be ending shortly. He just has to get the outer the white power bombs, the ones that everybody hates. Now he's going to trek into known territory, and we've pretty much seen all this. I think. Both runners only have one item left to get, and it's the final tank. They can get it with a Shine Spark or some tricky space jumps. I think they both would opt to go for the Shine Spark stuff. So I definitely have seen newer players who didn't know about the easy setup and just did space jumps because they thought that was the only way to do it. Space jumping is a little faster because it takes time to set up the Shine Spark. This is really easy. Oh, it looks like John is too low though, and he's gonna fail it. That loses a whole lot of time. It's like 20 something. It must be 20 seconds if you go through the Shine Spark and fail that. It really hurts. Yeah, it looks like FLJ is having some troubles here. It should only take one jump to break the blocks, but it doesn't. Looks good this time though. Now he just has Mecha to go. I'm pretty sure he got all the items. It's hard to tell because I'm jumping between both players while commentating and I'm tired, but we'll know in a few seconds. If it takes him more than 6 supers to kill Mecha, then he has definitely gotten every item, because Mecha triples his health on 100%. John showing off his horizontal bomb jump. And he has indeed gotten every single item. John definitely playing this fight a lot safer than he needs to. So the time they give you for escape is very, very generous. I think it's like 4 or 3 minutes in hard mode, and even for low percent, it's just a ton of time. Yeah, especially for hard mode, because he deals double damage on hard mode, and you only have half the health. It is definitely possible to die in Hundo hard for that fight. It's really scary. Looks like the Dudeopi nailed did get the final tank on the first try, but I wasn't paying attention, so he could have failed it. Looked good though. As FLJ is going for the Shine Spark here, setting up so that he can break the block and run across it as he does. Looks good, he gets the final Shine Spark of the game. Dudeopi being much more aggressive with his missiles. Getting a few ugly tanks from Mecha with it though, but he has 100%, so he's good. So FLJ wins with a time of 1:24:59. not sure if John is going to come in for commentary. I think Dudeopi is really close to his PB. So good job for him. It might even PB, I'm not sure. And he's done. No, apparently, according to SRL, speedrun.com, Dudeopi has a...
Hey.
Hey, was that PB?
Yeah, actually, I didn't even notice. I was so like stressed at the end. I actually had a PB like a couple hours ago that was like 15 seconds slower, but this is a PB on top of that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I mean that was quite a run. I made a lot of mistakes. I had like one split. What was it? Oh, where is it? When I left Ridley. So during the time I was in Ridley, I messed up all those puzzle rooms and lost like 2 minutes. But besides that, there's so many things that went well. So many things I was just really nervous. But overall, I'm pretty proud of what I did and how I performed.
Yeah, congratulations, man. You got
Thanks.
second place, but you did well. You did pretty well. So, how do you pronounce your name, by the way? Is it Dudeopi or Dudeopi?
Dudeopi, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I will forget it again, I'm sure, but...
It's fine. Yeah, I was listening to the commentary while I was running, and there were just like, there's so many things that, you know, I've been practicing, and like, this is only like my 8th run that I've completed and timed. I've done like other, like not timed practice runs, but it's just like, you know, you grind out like the first heated room. I spent so much time practicing it. Done like a half hour yesterday. I was getting it consistently, and I just choked when I got in there and panicked, you know.
Yeah, so have you ever seen the ice beam first, the high jump first route for Norfair?
Is that like New Fair?
Yeah.
I've heard about it, but like I don't know.
Well, the thing is, you get to do that heated room later on with full
Right.
health, so it might help you out. Because you don't, like, you're going to go into the heated rooms at the bottom with full health, and that room that you're having trouble with, you get to go with screw attack and wave beam and everything, so...
Right. It's I don't know, just the fact that I practiced it a ton and then still messed it up after getting consistent kind of irks me a little bit.
I mean, don't feel too bad. It happens to everybody,
right,
and if you fail it right at the start, it's going to cascade into a bigger mistake.
Right. I'd say first
not used to the
enemy, because like 75% of the time he's moving left.
So it's a 50-50.
It's a 50-50, really.
Yeah, so...
It feels like so often he's going left. Like, well, maybe because I practice, I use like restore points, which are like save state.
Yeah,
that might have something to do with it. But
yeah, it definitely does. If you're using restore points, then it makes the RNG see it the exact same every time you do it. That's pretty much why.
I do sometimes get him going right, but usually he's going left, and that's probably the reason for that. I'll have to look at it more. I'll look into New Fair. But GG
So,
to John. Good
yeah.
run.
Yeah, good run by both of you. Nice to see you, PB. Nice to see John going into Ridley before parade. That was pretty hilarious.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, and then he had the Japanese, which is like whatever. You know, at I think 12 seconds, the distance does not really impact much.
Yeah, he would have still won anyway.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
But
Um,
um, I think I'm going to wrap it up because I am exhausted and want to go to bed.
yeah, I have to like be up in 5.5 hours for work.
Yikes, yeah.
So
So, thanks for watching, guys. I'm sure there's a command to see what's coming up next. I am exhausted and I can't think straight, so I'm just going to peace out. Thanks for watching, y'all, and have a good night. Thanks for the race. It was fun to watch.
thanks for commentating.